Welcome back to Deep Bloop. In this video, we're going to explain the tool called Quick Signer. Quick Signer will ship with your purchase of the Fiddle version of the tool from our website. So let's get into the Quick Signer. The typical use of a Quick Signer would be at a point of sale system where instead of handing out a paper receipt to your customers, you could actually send an email attachment of the receipt after the customer signs on the receipt. This is just the tool to do that. The advantage of doing that is, of course, that you have your customer's email address saved in your system for later email marketing needs. And a customer, on the other hand, has a soft copy of it, so he need not be concerned of losing actual paper receipt if he needs to return the purchase, or if he needs to exchange it with another one. That will drive more customer to your business premises, as it is more convenient for him to do so. And on your side, as the business owner, you can save all the customer's information in a central repository or in a central business account, and you can use that information or the repository for data mining at a later time to better understand your customers' purchase behavior. So it's a win-win situation for both you and your customers. In the first video on Quick Launch, we explained the setup screen where you are required to enter certain values on the screen for this tool to use. In that explanation, we kept the SMTP values blank and effectively telling this tool to use the default SMTP host, which is smtp.gmail.com. This is again to provide a second chance to you to correct those information here. If you notice that in the rightmost, next to the ahead of the rightmost border, there is this button with a blue background and uppercase letter A. If we click this in quick succession, a small model window shows on top of the Quick Signer interface. The reason we need to click it more than once in quick succession is to prevent nuisance clicking by your customer. So when this shows, and what it shows is that it is asking you to fill in a few of the required configuration values for this tool to work properly. For the Quick Signer especially to work properly, you must first define an input folder, and that input folder is the location from where this tool will automatically pick up any PDF file on it detecting that the file has been just dropped. The only requirement from operational point of view is that every file that's get dropped into this input file folder must be uniquely named. It's pretty easy for any application to generate files with unique names. Even though the main core name of the file could be the same, we can make it unique by appending the timestamp of the day or appending a random number generated by some random number generator tools. In any case, it should be pretty easy for whatever application that you are currently using to generate an output file to name it with a unique name. And in our case, we have already created a folder on our desktop where all our input files will be dropped. And this is what we have told the tool to look for. So this is the same folder, and we click OK, and similarly we click output folder location and click OK. All our documents after signature will be saved in the output location with a log text file that will have an entry for each transactions. Why we need that? So we can consume it later at the end of the business day or end of a business cycle and save it to a more persistent storage that will allow you to do customer purchase behavior and other analytical work that you might want to do on those data. The third box is optional. It is where you would browse for the location of the certificate file and the password to be entered for that file. Now, what is a certificate file and why do we need that? We need a certificate file that ends with an extension of .pfx to do a digital signature on top of the electronic signature. The digital signature is not seen by the customer or not visible by looking at a PDF document, but it can be used to verify whether that document was signed using this tool and this computer by this company. There are many ways to get this certificate file. One is to generate it yourself, which is explained in detail in this icon. If you expand the fourth option, it tells you in 5 steps how to generate your own certificate files. Now, this is optional, but it is highly recommended that you get your own certificate file either by yourself or from a renowned certificate authority company. And why do you need that? That will prevent non-repudiation by your customers should they deny that this was not signed by them at your business. The next is the password that related to this file, and the one after that is the CC email. If you want an email to be sent out every time there is a transaction, as in addition to the email that's getting sent out to the customer, you can enter that email here, meaning this could be typically your business account where you want to send and receive all the transactions that you ever do with the attachment of the file or the document that was signed. Again, this is optional, and you would like to use this feature so that you can do data mining or other kind of analytics on those data. The next box is required. If you need to send out email, you must have an email subject, and if you need to send out email, you must have an email body. And this is where you custom define the content or the verbiage of that email subject and email body. The groups of boxes in the later portion of this screen is again giving you another chance to input or your SMTP host if you have changed your SMTP host or if you did not input them at the time of the first launch. You can have second chance or third chance or any number of chances to do it again, and for now let me leave it blank and click save. And should you want to do it again, just click a few times in quick succession and you can enter your SMTP particulars at any time of this tool, using this tool. Now let's start by dropping a file here. Let's drag and drop the file here, and which is simulation of what another application will do, is to drop a file here that could be typically a receipt of a purchase process or receipt of a service rendered by your business. Now if you can see that there is already a signature attached to this document which was done at an earlier time. Now we want to redo the same thing again by stamping another signature of this customer who is about to sign on this who is involved in this receipt process and who is about to do his signature on it. For that, at a minimum, we would need his email address. And again, this is optional, but by default the system expects the customer to put in his email here. If the customer opts out of getting an email, then you can always uncheck this first and then not input any email address. So in our case, we leave the default and we input an actual email address. Let's call it Deep Bloop Tester @gmail.com. Now we are ready to do the signature process. So it's pretty straight. Just double click anywhere on this document, and if you didn't like this location, you want to change this location of the signature, you can always cancel out and do it somewhere else and click it again. It provides you 3 buttons. One is to cancel this signature, the other is to save the signature if you like the signature, and if you can redo the signature on the same location by clearing it. Imagine there is invisible perimeter around the top of these boxes where you can actually sign, and it is also indicated by the tooltip that says please start signing here. Let's do it. The way to sign here is with a mouse. Keep on pressing the leftmost button with your thumb while you move the mouse around in the same way as you would sign. Or if on a touchpad in a laptop, you keep on pressing the left mouse button with your thumb and move your index finger on the touchpad. So if you're satisfied, let's say we save it, and that's it. And we can do this anywhere we like. And now we are ready to sign or submit this document, which you do by simply clicking this button. And when you do that, the system informs you that an email has been sent to this person with this attachment. In addition to that, this is how the signature will look like. It will stamp the present time and day and date and the email address of the person who just signed. Now, having completed this transaction, we can drop another file. Again, remembering that file name has to be unique. Let's drop another file. And we are ready to do our next transaction. So it repeats. Thanks for watching, and we are going to talk about the basic signer in our subsequent video. Thank you.